welcome to episode 51 of the Apocalyptic Knitter podcast. I'm Naomi and I'm coming to you from a relatively sunny Leeds in West Yorkshire, where I live with my husband Craig, my son Brandon and our cat Lego, who is currently sat on the back of the sofa looking at the world. So welcome back to my returning viewers. I know it's been a few weeks since I last did the spring vlogs. I tried to catch up last weekend, but it just didn't happen. So I've found a bit of time to come and show you what I've been up to. And yes, welcome to my new viewers. Lovely to have you on board. Thank you all so much for subscribing. Right, today is going to be a more traditional format podcast, so let's crack on. First of all, what am I wearing? This is here. This is my Zweig sweater, one of my wardrobe favourites. I can't remember the name of the designer, but I'll put a little doofer down here. And yeah, I absolutely love it. It's got a lovely lace yoke, a little bit of colour work, and it just really fits really nicely. I've actually got two, but the other one that I've got, I did it in black as the main. That was fun. And I had a lovely contrast with all like reds and different colours, but it the black kind of died into it a little bit. But it's still, yeah, I digress. So that is that. Finished objects. I've finished a few bits and pieces, but I've gifted them away, so I can't show you. I think I might have posted them on Instagram. Talking of Instagram, so my socials, if you want to follow me, I am Naomi Knits on Instagram. I am Big Bird on Ravelry, and I'm here on YouTube as Apocalyptic Knitter. So yes, I finished the 3 sets of socks for my family in New Zealand, so they've been posted and arrived safe and sound, just in time for their winter, which is crazy because we're just coming into spring and summer. I finished the pair of yellow West Yorkshire Spinner socks for my colleague. Absolutely love them. So yes, so that is my, I do have another finished object. Kind of finished, I just need to like weave in the ends. So this is my quadrophenia blanket. Ta-da! So it's all sewn up. Just got a few more ends to weave in. And yeah, I love it. So some of the colours, especially these ones here, are from the 2023 Advent Calendar by Spectrum Fibre, and also some of these on here, especially that hot pink and the purple there. And then, because it was only a 12-day one, I think this purple, like lovely, what do they call it? Like a lavender one. There's a name of the colourway and it's gone from me. You know those Parma violets, that's it. I'm sure that's the name of the colourway on there. So I just kind of grouped them into kind of relative colours for each quadrant. I'm not sure if they kind of go, but do you know what? I don't mind. It's not a bad size blanket. but I'd kind of say that it was like more of a lap blanket. So I do like my blankets a little bit bigger, but I'm undecided because the only way I could make it bigger is if I picked up all the stitches around and added that on. And at the moment, I'm not quite prepared to do that just yet. So I'm going to finish weaving in the ends and yeah, see how I feel about that later on. Love it. So yeah, so that was the Quadrophenia blanket by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears podcast. So I think that is all my finished objects that I've got to show you. I do have a couple, have I cast on? I do have one new cast on. I might go through that first. This is what I've just been working on this morning for a little bit. So these are for a friend of mine who's had a really rough time and is in hospital at the moment recovering from a really bad accident, and he is a Leeds United fan, so I figured he gets his own Leeds United socks, so I have to excuse the stitch markers. That's just a little bit of a marker for me. So I had a yellow mini, a yellow 20 gram mini. So I've done that in the toe and the heel. Just done the standard fish lips kiss heel. And then I actually didn't have, I've got all the colours in the sun in my stash, except white. It's just plain white 4-ply. So because this blue, I only had 50 grams of that. That was some alpaca 4-ply, really nice. I've got the label here. Artisanal 4-ply, 100% superfine alpaca. And at first I thought, oh, do I need to get another ball? And I couldn't find one on the internet. So I thought, well, do you know what? I got some white because that's the colours. And I got some white alpaca by Drops. I don't believe I have the ball band, but I'll put a do for here. So I just did a chunk of the white, and then I just did like a bit of a sandwich stripe with the blue, yellow, blue, and then I did the cuff 2x2 rib in white to finish off. I thought they looked really good. Really pleased with that one, and I'm literally halfway through turning the heel on the second one. So today is my what I call my Magic Monday. So I work a 9-day fortnight, and every second Monday is my non-working day. It's today. So I've got all my jobs done. All I'm gonna do, I'm gonna finish editing this after I've recorded it, and then I'm just gonna do some knitting. So I'm gonna see if I can finish the second sock, or give it a good boost, as they say. So yeah, I'm not gonna use up the full 50 grams, definitely not. But I was weighing this like every row when I was doing the first sock, so I don't think I'm gonna be yarn chickening on that one, and I don't think I'm gonna be yarn chickening on that one, but it'll be good to kind of get those all like nicely used up. So that is in my little grey girl panda bag. You can probably do with putting through the washing machine actually. You wonder how they get like grubby, because you know, mind you, sometimes it's just the odd splodge of tea. So yes, so that's in there. Put that in the bag as well. What else do I have? So that's like my commuting knitting. Now, in my favourite project bag, I love this. This is by Joanna Borges. It wasn't the whip I thought it was going to be inside, but I picked up my Elton sweater by Joji Locatelli. I did start it and I did it's quite an interesting construction. You start off on the back shoulder, then you do the right shoulder, then you join them, and I needed the needles. I needed to kind of swap over the needles, so I kind of just did the row and then took it off. But you know when you do that row and you go, oh, actually I quite enjoy knitting with this. So there is a bit of a story with this one. Let me just detangle all the wool. And so, might have to use your imagination because it's on a bit of a shorter cable. So for the main colour, this gorgeous magenta is from Zauberweiss, which I got when I was in Berlin. It was the one where there was 2 magenta skeins on the sale table. And I was like, perfect. Which is this colour here. I do love a good magenta. That's just a superwash merino. And then the floof, beautiful floof, with the odd little pop of magenta in, which is nice, is what I've been striping it with. And that is from the Dye Shack, the lovely Naomi at the Dye Shack. It's Surrey Silk Cloud. And that's 74% baby Surrey alpaca and 26% mulberry silk. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm still on the same skein of each. I did get 2 of each. So the reason why it's the story is I picked it up and then joined the shoulders and did the fronts, and then the pattern said that I had to continue down the armholes, sleeve holes, armholes, till like, I can't remember how many stitches it was, and I even overshot it by 2 centimetres. But my friend was over at the weekend and we were chatting, and it looked quite like as if it wasn't going to be long enough for me. And I literally just joined it in the round and I'd done about maybe like 3 rows. So we looked at the pattern again, and it is a boxy style one, because she was like, you're not going to get your arm in there, but I think the boxy style kind of comes down here. Now I'm not doing it as wide as in the pattern kind of says to have like sort of like 20 centimetres positive ease. and I was speaking to Jo Knit Sews at the Blackpool, I believe, Northwest show, and she was wearing hers, and she said, you don't kind of need to do as much of the positive ease if you want, like for when you're making one of the bigger sizes. She kind of lost some of the positive ease. So I don't think my arms are going to go like there. They might be a bit further up there, but it's still going to be a drop shoulder. So I unknit, I tinked back 3 rows stitch by stitch, because I thought with Surrey you can't unwind. I thought, so I just did it. I took the hit and I did it, and I went back and I added 4 more stripes, which is a bit more, so I feel a bit more happier with that armhole there. So I'm just about to go into the round again, and it's hard for me to kind of see. I mean, that might be all right there. I love the colours. So I'm now going to knit in the round, in the body, and I'm going to get it to the length that I want, and then I'm going to do the neckline, and then I'm going to see how much wool that I'm left with, to whether I just do some shorter sleeves up to my elbows or what. But then I will have to be mindful that I've not followed the pattern with these, so I'll have to kind of go through the sleeves, make sure that they all align up and all that kind of thing, which I'm fine with. I'm fine. I will work it out as I go along. So yeah, I'm happy that that's going to be that might even be small enough for me to do some commute knitting. We shall see, we shall see. So I'm going to put that back in there. And in my other cat project bag, there's a theme today. So this was the lovely bag that I got from Pickle Lily. This is the Amadeo summer sweater. I'll put the name of the designer underneath because it's not in my bag. So I think the last one that I showed you at Easter, I think I was just joined for the body, but I hadn't done it all. But this one I've done the whole body. Cast that off, and I've now done yay much on the sleeve. It is a mega sleeve island, as in it's lace, so it's not speedy. However, now that the pattern is established, I can like read it, if you know what I mean. So I know what I start with on the rows is like 1 and then 2, 3, 4, 5, then back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm yeah, I'm quite happy. I mean, look at that. I'm hoping you can see that beautiful chevron. That might be a bit of a better angle. So this is done on 3.5mm needles. So this is the same needles as the Elton sweater, but this one's a fixed cable, and yeah, because the other one was on quite a long cable, and it was a bit too long for sleeves. It was bothering me. So yeah, I'm not quite sure if I want a little bit more length on the body, but I'm gonna do the arms, do the neckband, block it, and then see, because it's top down, so I can always pick it back up. And I've got tons and tons of yarn for this, as in I think I've just started it. I think I've just started on the 3rd skein, and I've got 5. So I've got plenty. Got plenty. So yes, the yarn is beautiful. Yes, we know. The yarn is Shelob's Lair by the Wool Chemist. And I don't know if it's pronounced the Wool Chemist or the Wool Chemist, but I call it the Wool Chemist. So there we go. I'm trying my hardest not to get tempted by I need to kind of finish those socks first of all. So that is what I've been working on. I've done a couple more of the crochet squares for Brandon's blanket, Battenberg blanket, but not enough to kind of sing a song about. I don't know if you've noticed, I have had quite a big sort out and tidy up of my lovely area here. So at the bottom there, that end cubby hole at the bottom, is all my commercial sock yarn. So my, what have I got in there? Like my West Yorkshire spinners, and I've got a couple of Opal ones in there. And the middle bottom drawer is all my like my skeins, like my single skeins that I've not hugely got plans for at the moment. The one at the end here is where I've got sweater weight quantities for things, got those all together. The top right is where I've got yarn gathered together for potential projects that I've kind of penciled in. And the top left is all my part skeins, so like my 30, 40, 50 grams of things, leftover projects. So I feel quite happy. And I've also treated myself. So you might, for inspiration from Rachel, This Knitty Life, she got these drawers and I thought these are perfect. So I keep these as this is like my little visual. And the projects that I'm working on, you know, sometimes if you're doing a sweater quantity and you've got like 4 skeins, you don't really want to be lugging all 4 skeins around with you while you wait to go to use them up. So I've put like the remaining navy ones in there, the remaining magenta and floof, that one for my Elton sweater. So this top drawer is my, what I call my inspiration, where there's a couple of skeins where I'm looking that I have got a plan for it. I know what it's going to be, and it's one to kind of spur me on. And these, Julie kindly gifted me these, my lovely friend in America. That is Hawthorn Finger and Weight, which is lovely. And this one, the Farmer's Daughter Fibres. I'm going to pair them together and make a Simon shawl. I've seen, I know Ruth from Ruth Loves to Knits made quite a few of these. I think I want to say, is it Petite Knits? I'll put that thing So I think they're going to go together quite nicely. My Lucky Dip sock yarn, I realised that I think I skipped April. I'm also into May. Opened one this morning. Love it. They're going to be for me. I just love that blue. And that purple. Obvs. I've got a couple of sock yarns ready to go. That was my gift in a ball from Rosie's Moments. I'll take it out because it's such a beautiful colourway. I like purples and greens, just thought it's just a bit different from what I normally go for. And you can start to see some of the presents poking out. Love that. Can't wait to start on that. But I'm gonna have to because I can't cast on too many things because I get a bit, feel like I'm up to there, which is ridiculous really. This has been in my stash for a long time because I also went through the cupboards in there. This is from, I think it's called Frangipani, and they were selling, it was a couple of years back, I want to say 2 years. They were vending at the Leeds Wool Festival, the one in Army Mills, and they were selling like the natural ones in these big hanks, and I think the hanks were like 500 grams. So this is going to be a jumper for my father-in-law. We've got a rough idea of the pattern because he said that he had a pattern when he was younger, like, you know. Now, although this is sport weight, the jumper that he had was an Aran weight jumper, and it had this textured pattern that wasn't quite it definitely wasn't moss stitch. It was very similar but not quite to double moss stitch. So I'm gonna have a little bit of a look around. Although I know it's not Aran weight, it will be a really warm jumper. And yeah, I think at the time I bought enough to make 2 jumpers. Because I bought 3 of the large hanks. Now I'm going to do his in cream, and I've not decided what I want to do for myself with it, whether I want to do it as a cardie and steek it or what, but I know that I don't think I want it in cream, but I can always dye over it. So I thought that's going to be at some point this year, that's going to be casted on. And then these, I think I'll just put these in here just to look at. Don't know what I'm going to make with it yet. This is from the lovely Knitted by Nish. So sometimes you just need to think on it for a little while, don't you? So that is me. So that's my upcoming plans drawer. Can you squish in there? And you can squish in there. So yes. And I do have my lovely cousin Lizzie is turning 15, sorry. Yeah, she's turning 15 in I think next week, and she's requested some, well, I offered to make her some socks, and she said that she would like pink, and she wants to know what kind of pinks that I have. So here are the choices that I have. This is like a nice, like a dusky pink. There's that one. Or I also have this, if you want something a bit more vibrant. Got pinks and purples and oranges. If you want some stripes, we've got that, which has got pinks, dark purples, a little bit of reds, and then I've got that if you want the toes and heels and cuffs to make it a bit more pink. We've got this from A Happy Crow, which I think is just makes me so happy, and that is called At First Sight. I love it. So there's that one. Or the other one that I had is this lovely skein from Dusty Dimples that has little flashes of pink and lots of little bits of speckles. So yeah, message your mum to let me know which one that you want, and I will put that on my little list. So that is all my workings on and what my hopes and dreams, as they say. Which last comes to acquisitions. I know, I'm sorry, I'm weak. No, I feel ready now that I am gonna just not buy anything and use up what I've got in my stash. I don't know when the next yarn festival that I'm going to go to will be, but you know. So the lovely Rachel from This Knitty Life was destashing something, and you know what? They're my colours, aren't they? So I think she said this was the Gemstone Club September, and yeah, she said they weren't really her colours, but I thought mine. So yeah, these are DK, and then we've got 3 minis DK. I don't quite know what I'm going to be using them in just yet, but yes, they now have a nice new home. And then I got this from Red Squirrel and Dunes. Now you've seen it before. This is the skein of Dougie's Night on a super soft sock, and this is what they kindly gifted for me as part of my giveaway when I did my 200 subscriber giveaway back in February. And you know what, it ate at me that I had to give it away, and so I ended up having to buy one for myself. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's this gorgeous like slaty blue colour, and then you just got these beautiful speckles. See, you've got a little bit of purple in. And I don't know if you can you see that twist in that yarn? I love it. So I feel more complete now that I've got it. I know, because I'm daft. Oh, look at that. Look at that, I've just seen that gorgeous little splurge of purple there. So yes, so that I think is all that I've got for you this time. And I've been watching there's not been a huge amount of films that I've been, oh, tell a lie, there's a couple of films that I've watched. I watched The Long Walk, that was on Prime last night. That was good. It's a bit uncomfortable watching it sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. And I also watched Greenland 2. It's not called Greenland 2, but it's the second Greenland, with Russell. It's not Russell Crowe. Gerard Butler. The brain is not braining today. And I really enjoyed that. I might even watch it again, to be honest with you. I have started getting back into my reading again. I finished reading the first in the series of A Court of Thorn and Roses. So I finished that one, so yay me. And I've just started reading one of my book club books called The Quiet, which is it's really good so far. I'm only about 50 pages in, and that's a bit different, bit dystopian, bit set in the future. But yeah, I will let you know when I finish reading it what I think. So yeah, if you've been following me on Instagram and you wanted to know what those 2 gifts that I've received are, the first one was a pair of earplugs, because I think it mentions in the story about there's this like humming, there's this vibration of this force field thing that they put in, and people have to wear earbuds. So I got my earplugs there. And the second one, very apt. They were talking about somebody was sewing, and I got this beautiful set of sewing needles, but like some of them are like beautifully curved. That one's got that on. Yeah, these are from Pony. I thought, ooh, they will be used, and I think that's what I really like about the club, is the stuff. Yeah, it might be a bit different, but it's useful stuff. Do you know what I mean? Things that you can use. So I might even put that in my little first aid kit. I thought, you never know, before it gets lost somewhere in the ether. Right, I'll call it a day. 38 minutes, that's not too bad. If you have got this far, if you want to leave me a little emoji of a jumper to help spur me on in my two jumpers that I've got on the go. And yes, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good, positive week in the week ahead. Take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye.